Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the KimUnity Soulutions podcast, the only podcast that turns workplace challenges into real world solutions. I am your host, Kim the SME. As always, I am only speaking from my experiences. I thank you for tuning in. Today, you'll be listening to part 2 of the last episode, which was based off of the book Tribes. We Need You to Lead by Seth Godin. It was such an amazing book, such a great read. It was one of those experiences to where you're looking for something and end up finding yourself. Has that ever happened to you? Well, I picked up that book, I read it, and it spoke to me. So this is part 2 of that episode. If you did not listen to the first part, go back, check it out. It's episode 80. You all be blessed. Bye-bye. How many of you are entrepreneurs only because of your experiences in the workplace? You said, I can't take any more of this. Whether it was how you were being treated or the policies or the expectations. Many entrepreneurs, and I'll have to go back and find a statistic on this, but many entrepreneurs are pushed in that direction because of their experiences in the workplace. Many enjoyed jobs that they had. They enjoyed their roles. They enjoyed their responsibilities. But it was the people or the manager or the rules or the lies or HR, the politics of it all. And I'm just going to go through some great points that he put in this book, and I suggest you all read it. And this is just basically going to be like, I guess, a book review of Tribes. In this book, he also mentioned that everyone should lead. I totally agree with that. I am for that. Leadership is not just at the top. If it's just at the top, you're doing something wrong. If it's just at the top, that means that you're insecure. There are other people that are bringing ideas and concepts to the table without a title. They don't need a title. I could care less about your title. I say it all the time. Your title only determines your level of pay, not your level of respect, not your level of knowledge. We could get so much farther if we all put our perspectives and ideas together in order to move something. It's about movement. It's about forward progress. It's about growth. Everyone should lead. Yes, everyone should lead. Don't put all that weight on one person. And especially the way that the hierarchy is in the workplace, there's one person at the top and all these, lines and people at the bottom. Then there's another top with other people. That org chart needs to be revamped for real. The org chart needs to be revamped because there's leaders in all levels. Sometimes they're just being ignored or they're being quiet because of how they've been treated previously. Or they haven't been given that support. Like, yes, your voice matters. Tell me what you think. You have the hands-on experience. I encourage you. They're not being encouraged. They're not being supported. This is where your innovation is at. He says in here, there's a tribe waiting for you to connect them and lead them to where they want to go. So after I had to challenge management and go to the CEO and go past HR, I was then, after that, promoted. And then I was promoted again with air quotes. I'm throwing air quotes up there because I didn't get the title. But I couldn't be upset because my whole mind was, it's not about the title. Right? I wanted the position to be able to help other people. And when I got there and I was able to hire people, they would come to me and we were laid off. The whole location was laid off shortly after that. But they said, number one, they wouldn't have quit their job that they just got if they knew that the location would be closing. I'm smiling now, but that was horrible. It was devastating. But I'm adding to that because they said, I just knew I was going to learn so much under you, because I had already started teaching them the systems and how to think through it. And so this one lady in particular said, I just knew, she was like, I was already learning so much from you. I already knew that, I was going to be elevated. I was going to learn so much. And she did in that short time, right? But people are waiting for you to connect with them. They are waiting for you to connect them and lead them to where they want to go. Somebody that's hearing my voice, and I know this because I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't led to it. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have those experiences. There was a reason why I had all of those struggles and challenges in the workplace. It's so I could come out and help you all. Someone is listening to my voice right now. It's like, I've been through that. That's why I don't make any recommendations now. So now all your great ideas and your great people are in your presence, and they're quiet because they have been shunned before. And so they're like, why waste my energy? And maybe they're going through something now, maybe in their personal life, to where, like, I don't have time to look for another job right now. Now is not a good time. I'm just going to stay where I am now. And if you ever heard the saying of, the devil I know is better than the devil I don't like it. I don't even like saying it, because I know that there is a God, right? But I do understand what they are saying when they say that. They're basically saying, just like if there's an opportunity for a promotion, but you already know the reputation of that other manager. Or maybe you don't know the reputation. You don't know how they handle their people, but you see a lot of turnover. And so, yes, you qualify for that position. You would love it. Maybe it would be a promotion in finances as well. But because you don't know what comes with it, you say, I'm just going to stay unhappy right here, because the devil I know is better than the devil I don't. That's what they're saying. It says he also says management is about manipulating resources to get a known job done. So he's basically stating that there's a difference between management and leadership. And I've said that before as well. And what he is saying is that management is about manipulating. They have to manipulate people in order to get the job done. Do this or you can't take vacation. Do this or, you won't get a promotion later. Where leadership, you really don't even have, you don't really have to ask them to stay because they want to. They have ownership over their responsibilities. They understand that their name is on it. They want you to look good, so they will look good. They manage a process they've seen before. So it's just like when an outsider comes in with a new perspective and they feel personally challenged. There's no guide. Leadership is about creating change that you believe in. Creating change, not following the same thing that's been done since 1908. No, let's innovate. Hey, I'm rhyming. Okay. Seth Godin, the author of this book, continues with talking about kings. They work hard to maintain their stability and surround themselves with people who are well fed and well paid. So he's basically saying the people at the top, they want to stay there. And unknowingly, they believe they have to stay there with an iron fist. And so what they do is they make sure the people around them are basically yes men. They pay them well and they feed them well in order to make sure that their position is secure. That's shallow thinking. That really is shallow thinking. So he's saying that monarchy is power and influence. And it's okay if you want to be a king in your organization. That's fine. Right? But don't be misleading. Don't hire people on saying that we have open door policies and we create room for growth. We want our teams to excel and we want the new ideas and the bright ideas. When really you don't. Behind the scenes you don't. If you want to be king, but let it be known. This is a factory. This isn't a tribe. That's what he's saying here. And I love it. This is what I've been saying. Make it plain. If that's what it is, say it. Let's not pretend that you value other people's ideas and thoughts and time and value them as a human. Let's not portray that if that's not what it is. But of course, they have to rule by an iron fist because that's all that they have. And they keep those well-paid and well-fed minions around them to make sure that everything goes as planned. And so when somebody like me, myself comes and it's like, oh no, your policy says this, so this is what I'm going by right here. I don't know, why are you saying something totally different? This is what it says. Well, your policy says you have open door policy, and so I'm coming in. Well, your chart that says you are management material if you do this, this, and this, I'm doing these. So why is there nowhere in my performance evaluation that I'm management material? Why does everything say below expectations? Like, these are things that you have to answer and question. If they had a valid explanation, I totally understand that because I'm reasonable. But I'm a critical thinker. So you're going to have to, as the CEO said, if you ask enough questions, you'll eventually get to the truth. He actually told me that as I was challenging what my manager was saying, and I spoke to him, then he said he was going to speak to her individually. I said, that's fine. And he said, because if you ask enough questions, you will get to the truth. And I said, exactly. That's all we want. The people who are really right, really believe and know that they are right, they want you to keep asking questions. Because something's not going to tie. Something's going to be off. Something's not going to make sense. It's the ones that don't want you to ask all the questions. They want to do it just because their title. Their title should speak for itself. Their wealth should speak for itself. Just because I said so. Because it's me. No. Let's keep asking some questions. Let's get down to the truth. I'm a problem solver. So we're going to have to solve this. Okay? What else does Seth say in this book? People want to be part of a movement. Why not? Why not? He also talks about leading from the bottom. I already discussed this. There are leaders everywhere. It's not just at the top. So when he also discusses in here about leading from the bottom, he says you don't need to have a title to be an authority figure. I totally agree with that. I just said that you don't need a title. The title determines your pay and responsibilities, not your level of respect. You don't need it. He also says that when you're in the difference between a tribe and a factory mindset or program is that in a tribe, you communicate in different directions. It's not always top down. In the factory style of leadership, it's not really leadership, but management, monarchy, it's always top down. It's very difficult to have an idea from the middle or the bottom and try to bring it up. Because it will stop at management, and management will never relay that message. Very rarely will they relay that message, especially with your name on it. They might put their name on it. It happens. I'm not saying every organization, but I am saying it does happen. But what Seth is saying about tribes is that it's a win-win because it's not about titles And because you can lead from wherever you are in that organization, the communication is from leader to member, right? Between members, between your teams, between your team member and somebody outside of your department. You're trying to get more perspectives and more ideas. The more people that you have, that you're able to bounce ideas off of and get input, the better the outcome. And that was another thing that the manager had put in my performance evaluation, was that I went and because I was trying to improve a process that I was working on. But before I did it, and from past experiences, I realized, okay, what I do may impact another department. I don't want to present this as a solution if it may impact somebody else negatively. Let me go and ask them, hey, if we make this change here, how will this impact you here? And when I spoke to that manager, who ended up being my new manager, she said, oh, no, that would be a great idea. That would help us. That would save time with month-end close, because I was in the accounting background. And so she was saying that little change that would benefit me on my end also benefited her on her end and would save her team time. But see, later I got written up for that, or docked in my performance evaluation, for not considering or not bringing it to my manager's attention first, even though on their rubric it said that you are leadership material if you don't always have to go to your manager, right? And it wasn't finalized or anything. I'm just bouncing ideas off. So anyway, again, he's talking about communication goes sideways, backwards, member to member. It's a flow of information. People are open to input. Open to input. Where am I at on time here? It says leaders don't care much about organizational structure or org charts. Again, he is speaking to me. He found me. I have found him. Y'all, if y'all have, I'm only on page 22. I'm looking at my notes here because I wrote down some notes, and I wrote down where I got from page 22. So all of this gold is right here in the beginning. But what's amazing is that I've been saying this. I've been sharing my stories and my encounters and my experiences to find it right here, and for it to say that I'm not crazy, I'm not, a maniac, I'm not, what else could I have been called? A control freak or anything. It wasn't anything like that. It was about sharing ideas and perspectives. But the person, depending on your mindset, you can take everything that I'm saying negatively. Have you ever brought something to someone's attention like, oh, this could be this, and then they see it from a negative aspect? Well, that's not where my mind was. That's where your mind was. That says more about you than me. This is what I'm trying to say. So when I read this, I found myself. He found me. He spoke to me. He is saying the same thing I've been saying. And it's positive. It's positive. Regardless of how, they tried to portray me in the workplace. Even though I did get my name straight in there, right? Because your name is all you have. And when new management came in, they saw that what she had written was untrue. It was untrue. But that is the difference between leadership and managers. Small minds. And I'm not just talking about titles, I'm talking about actual actions. It says great leaders, he wrote in here, great leaders create movements by empowering the tribe to communicate. Yes, communicate between each other. When I have a challenge, I go straight to the source. It makes no sense. It's a waste of time to go through all these levels. I don't know. Okay, that's what they've been doing for years, but why? Why? Let's solve the problem. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. And there are repercussions. If you are going against what the company policy is, know that there could be repercussions. But when you believe in it, and I know people out there like, girl, you acted like that was, your company. No, I'm not. I knew it was theirs. I'm trying to help them. That's what a good employee is. That's what a good leader is when they want the entire organization to win. Not once was I in there thinking about myself. Not one time are you in there always thinking about yourself. You're coming up with ideas that may save you time, but it saves everybody time. It saves everybody time. It says leaders establish a foundation for people to make connections as opposed to commodity. Oh, I'm sorry. As opposed to commanding people to follow them. If I have to command you to do something, it's not even worth it. Why? That you're not. That means you're not with me. You're not with me. He has on here, don't, or I paraphrase it, don't manage, lead. And I'll probably be posting that on my IG soon. Don't manage, lead. He says in this book, good enough stopped being good enough a long time ago. So why not be great? Why not be great? That's exactly what I said. Why just keep doing what you've been doing when someone is coming in there with a fresh idea? And not most of the time, many times, if you ask, there is no cost to it. It will save time. There's something that cost benefit analysis, if you've ever heard of that, it's the weight of, okay, if you make a decision, what is the cost versus what is the benefit? And many times, what is being brought to you has been so well thought out that the benefits outweigh the cost. And sometimes there is no cost at all. Besides time learning it or time implementing it, and depending on that, may be irrelevant anyway. It says, life's too short to fight the forces of change, to hate what you do all day. I just said that. Life's too short to hate what you do all day. For real. Come on, somebody. Put some hands in the air in the comments. Do something if you feel that. He says, too many organizations care about the numbers, but missing the connection, the depth of commitment. That's the thing. Out of all of these organizations and businesses that are out here, everyone is reaching for something. They're reaching for some kind of target, some kind of goal. And you're struggling trying to get there because you're trying to rule it with an iron fist. But you need connection. You need connection. It is so much easier and beneficial and time saving if you actually had a relationship with people that were around you. And I'm not saying inappropriate relationships. I'm just saying showing that you care. Showing that their information, that you value them, their ideas, their time, building that trust. You're missing the connection. And some of you have no idea because it was never brought to you. Not everybody's going to come and approach you to your face and say, hey, I don't appreciate how you did that. Hey, I don't remember when yesterday I tried to, let everything die down. Not everybody's going to approach you. They just hold it in the back of their head or on their chest or on their sleeve. And so the next time you ask them to stay late, no, they can't stay late. because you weren't there for them when they needed you. And that I'm not talking about the one-offs and everything, but you've done something as far as management. Management has done something to where you're no longer trusted, or they can't rely on you, or they're not going to give you that benefit. And you're trying to figure out why productivity is low, why the surveys are low, why the satisfaction is low. Think back. Just go back and think. Think about all the interactions. Think about how it was at the very beginning to now. What happened? Something happened. Y'all need to call me. Y'all need to book a call with me so we can get down to it. Because many times it's just a small instance where something was misunderstood, something was miscommunicated. And once that is addressed, you can move forward and be more productive, be more positive, be more profitable, be more innovative. If I'm speaking to you, book a call, send me an email. I would love to discuss it. You have to be honest with yourself. And sometimes you just have no idea. You need someone on the outside. That's why I'm doing this now, because sometimes you can be more beneficial outside of the environment than within it. Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. So again, he has just spoken so much in this book. It says in here, individuals who push their organizations, who inspire other individuals to change the rules, thrive, whatever the status quo is. Changes it, gives you the opportunity to be remarkable. Whatever the status quo is, he says, change it. It gives you the opportunity to be remarkable. You can't be remarkable if you are confined into these undisclosed lines or boundaries. Then there's he states in here that an individual by the name of Dan Pink coined the term free agent nation, and is basically described as a movement of smart people leaving organizations to go out on their own. I just said that so many of us are going out creating our own because of how they were treated or mistreated or the lack thereof inside of your business. It says heretics talk themselves out of fear. It's there, but it's drowned out. I just said that. Yes, I don't have the fear of going to speak to management. No. But I do know that there is possibility, there's a possible cost to it. I didn't want to go to HR. I didn't want to have to go to HR. Why? And it was based off of untruths. Why do I have to waste my time? Why do I have to have this energy? I didn't want to, but I did it. And I had to make sure I was prepared. So I had my folder, right? Because I want to be prepared for what they say. I want to be able, again, if you ask enough questions, you're going to get to the truth. The truth shall set you free. Heretics are doing something that matters. The success, the drive is an intellectual story about how the world needs your insights to help make a difference. Are you the difference maker? Or are you continuing with the status quo? Are you dissatisfied and you're just going in there just like, oh, okay, another 8 hours. I didn't want that to be me. It couldn't be me. And now I'm raising up children who I see. It's like, oh, you taking up your mother now. Okay. They're about the truth. They want to do what's right. And I've had management that say, wow, Kim, you just want it to be right. Why? Who doesn't? Who wants to be living in wrong all the time? Who they say see something, say something. Like if you see that there's something that could be improved, why not do it better? Or if you see something that's outrageously wrong, like come on now. I can't put up with this right here. This has got to stop. When you see people get yelled at, and I mean where the poor girl was just crying at her desk. And you don't know what they're going through. It could be out of fear of losing her job that she didn't say anything, that she put up with it, or having to take care of her children, child care. But people who take advantage of people like that, they know who to deal with in that kind of capacity. They know who not to approach like that. They know. Seth Godin also says in his book, great leaders don't try to please everyone. No, we don't. Change isn't about asking permission, but asking for forgiveness later. I really like that. Just like when I had, skipped the chain of command, I wasn't asking for permission. I didn't go and say, hey, do you mind if I skip over and go over here? No, this is what's needed. And then afterwards, okay, I had to do it. I had to do it. Be willing to be wrong. That means taking challenges, taking chances. That means going after your gut, going after your intuition, going after a new idea. It's not always going to be perfect. We have to stop penalizing people for trying, for going the extra mile, for trying something different. Stop penalizing and watch your team excel. Watch your team excel. I would love to hear what you all are thinking about this book. If you've already read it, let me know what your main takeaway was. Tribes by Seth Godin. We need you to lead us. We need you to lead us. This is what I've been doing. I was so glad to come across it. And it was like a beautiful surprise. Because you don't know really what's in the book before you open it up and start reading. But at the very beginning, I was just like, you should see all the marks. Do you see this? It's like all the way through. Let me show this other camera over here. All the way through this book, I'm just marking up. Which side is over here? Marking up this book with like, oh my gosh. And then I'm putting examples of how this happened to me. I'm putting dates. Look, I don't know what happened 4/16, but I put on here. Oh, this one. I put some notes on here. And what it says, responding is a much better alternative. You respond to external stimuli with thoughtful action. Organizations respond to competitive threats. Individuals respond to colleagues or to opportunities. Response is always better than reaction, because response has to deal with the thought process. Reaction can be instantaneous. It could be out of habit. It's not thought out. And so I need to go back to my calendar and see what I put on there for 16. But this is my first time actually reading a book and then coming on here and talking about it, discussing it, comparing it to my real life situations and experiences. Even with my throat acting up like this on me, I'm so sorry, you all. But I had to do it. I had to do it. If you have not already, go out and get this book. I'm not getting paid anything. He doesn't know me. I'm not benefiting in any way besides from the words that were written in here that I had already applied and did. And I'm already the leader that I am. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. I know I enjoyed this book. It's a book that I will have to go back to and, refer to as far as how he so eloquently worded what I do or what I've done or my past experiences. You all, it's been amazing. I am your host, Kim, the SME. SME, a speaker of my experiences. There's so many people out here in the world that's out here talking about everybody else's business. And as soon as you ask them about theirs, they're like, I don't want to talk about it. No, I'm telling you about my experience, the ones that I want to share, of course. But it's about learning from my mistakes, learning from my experiences, and I hope to learn from yours. I hope to hear from yours. If you are ever interested in coming on this podcast, if you have any experiences that you would like to share, if you are a manager who would like to respond to anything that I've said or share your perspective, you are welcome to come on my podcast. DM me on Instagram, KimUnity Soulutions. I will put all my contact information below wherever you are listening. You have been listening to the KimUnity Soulutions podcast. I hope you all have a blessed one. Be blessed. Oh, and let me tell you, I have these cards. They're called Questions and Perspectives. These are conversation cards that will be perfect in your workplace. I've been talking about building connection with the people that you are around in your workplace, even at home, at church. These are clean. The deck, as you can see, if you're watching this on visually, they fit in your hand. So they are convenient to carry with you. There's over 100 questions in here that you can use in the workplace to help you build that connection. Some of you have to rebuild what you have already broken. And so by doing this shows your team that, okay, you care. And it's not, what I really love about these cards I've created is that I made them for me, right? There are so many people out here that believe that, they're introverts. That's why they don't want to contribute to the conversation. Or somebody told them that they are antisocial when really they're not. They're bored. They're bored. They want real conversation. They don't want small talk. How was your weekend? No, because now I feel like you're trying to get in my business. But when you pull out these conversation cards and everyone can have a chance to answer and respond, and you are allowing them to unveil what they want to unveil, to share what they want to share. They can go as shallow as they want or as deep as they want, and you're learning something as you go. You're learning something about them, and they're learning more about you, and you're giving them the opportunity. It's getting away from all the metrics and the KPIs and the numbers. You're only approaching them, when you need something. You're only approaching your team when you want to know the status of something or to notify them of a meeting or something they did wrong. No. Speak to them like they're a human. Show them that you care. Value their perspectives without judgment. This is not about judgment. This is creating a safe space. This is about beginning anew, learning something new about the people you are with. It could be even with your own family. I asked my children and I was shocked at some of the answers. One question that's on here says, what's something you really wanted but glad you didn't receive? You will be amazed at the different answers people are sharing. You will be surprised. Go to QandPcards.com. It's for questions and perspectives. Q, the letter Q, and D, the letter P, cards.com. And you can order your deck of conversation cards today. Get connected. Rebuild the connection. You are missing something in your team. Whether your team has told you or not, you better get these cards. You all be blessed. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Until next week, be blessed. Bye-bye.